Welcome to Communicate in English with Class. Speak clearly.
Think globally. Communicate with confidence.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our English learning podcast.
Yes, welcome back. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here learning with us today.
I'm Clara, your English coach, and I love helping you become a confident speaker.
And I am Marcus. We are here to make your English journey fun and practical.
Let me ask you a powerful question. Do you freeze up when speaking English?
Do you pause because you just don't know which action verb to choose next?
It's a massive problem. You know the vocabulary words, but your mind goes blank.
Many learners tell us they feel stuck trying to pick the right basic action word.
Today, we are going to fix that completely. We are focusing on essential action verbs.
We will cover verbs like go, come, take, put, make, get, and many more.
By the end of this episode, you will speak much more naturally every single day.
You will stop translating directly from your first language, which slows you down completely.
You will also confidently understand the hidden differences between very similar daily action verbs.
So sit back, relax, and get ready to transform your daily English speaking skills.
Let's dive right into today's lesson and unlock your true English speaking potential.
Let's talk about a big truth bomb regarding real, everyday English fluency.
Most learners study complex grammar rules for years and memorize long lists of vocabulary.
They watch endless video lessons, but they still struggle to start a real conversation.
Why does this happen? Because real-life daily conversations depend entirely on simple action verbs.
Many learners constantly chase difficult academic words to sound smart when speaking to others.
But the truth is, native speakers mostly use basic, simple action verbs every day.
Think about everyday words like go, come, take, put, make, give, and bring.
Research actually shows that these basic verbs dominate almost all of our daily conversations.
A learner who knows 500 simple, useful words always speaks much more fluently.
That is much better than knowing 5,000 difficult words but never using them naturally.
When you master these core verbs, your sentence building becomes incredibly fast and easy.
So stop stressing over big words. Let's focus on the words that actually matter.
This is the ultimate shortcut to sounding natural, relaxed, and truly fluent in English.
Now, let's look at the 3 biggest mistakes learners make with these verbs.
The first major mistake is translating directly from your native language into spoken English.
Every language structures action differently, so direct translation usually creates very awkward sentences.
The second mistake is using just one single familiar verb for absolutely everything you say.
And the third big mistake is letting the fear of errors stop you from speaking.
Let's look at some real-life examples of these very common learner mistakes right now.
For example, a learner might say, "Yesterday, I did a photo with my camera."
That sounds unnatural. In English, we always say, "Yesterday, I took a photo" instead.
Or someone might say, "I carried a very important decision at work last week."
Again, that's incorrect. The natural native expression is, "I made a big decision yesterday."
See the difference? Using the correct action verb instantly changes how natural you sound.
If this episode is already helping you understand English more clearly, please take action.
Don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to our channel, and share it today.
We create practical English lessons that help you actually speak, not just study grammar.
Your support helps us create more free audio lessons for amazing learners like you.
Now, let's dive into our very first pair of confusing daily action verbs.
Let's talk about go and come. These are 2 highly confusing everyday action verbs.
Learners mix them up constantly because they both relate to moving from places.
But here is the secret deep explanation that makes it incredibly easy to understand.
Use the verb go when you are moving away from where you are now.
And use the verb come when moving toward the person speaking or the destination.
Let's look at some super simple real-life situations to make this crystal clear.
You say, "I need to go home now because it is getting late tonight."
Or you say, "Let's go shopping this afternoon to buy some nice new clothes."
You can also tell your energetic dog, "Please go outside and play in the yard."
But if you want someone near you, you say, "Please come here right now."
Or if someone knocks on your door, you say, "Please come inside my house."
If you're heading to a fun party, you ask, "Do you want to come with me?"
Let's look at a funny conversation example where this rule goes totally wrong.
Imagine calling your friend and saying, "Hey, I'm going to you right now."
That sounds very strange. You should say, "Hey, I'm coming to your house now."
Exactly, because you are moving toward the person you were actively speaking to on the phone.
Let's do a quick mini speaking challenge for everyone listening to us today.
I want you to choose the correct verb for this specific everyday situation.
If you invite a friend over, do you say, "Come to my house tonight"?
Or do you say to your friend, "Go to my house tonight" instead?
Think about it for a quick second. Which word sounds correct to you?
The correct answer is "come to my house" because they're moving toward you.
Perfect. If you made a mistake, remember our favorite confidence tip for learning English.
Absolutely nobody becomes completely fluent in a new language by avoiding mistakes entirely.
Mistakes are just proof that you're trying hard and making real progress.
Now let's move on to take versus bring. This drives many learners confusing.
Yes, many learners confuse these two verbs every single day of their lives.
But we have a very simple rule that will solve this problem forever.
It all depends on direction. Use take to move something away from here.
And use bring when you move something toward the place you are right now.
Let's look at a practical daily example to see this rule in action.
Before you leave the house, your mom might say, "Take your umbrella with you."
She says take because the umbrella is moving away from the house into outside.
But if you are coming home, she says, "Bring some delicious bread with you."
She uses bring because the food is moving toward her current location inside.
Let's try an interactive practice section with some common real-life daily scenarios.
Imagine you're visiting a friend's apartment for a fun dinner party tonight.
Should you say, "I will take some wine to your party tonight"?
Or should you say, "I will bring some wine to your party tonight"?
The correct verb here is bring because you are focusing on the arrival destination.
Now imagine you're leaving a restaurant after eating a very big, delicious lunch.
Do you say, "I want to bring the leftover food home with me"?
Or do you say, "I want to take the leftover food home with me"?
Here, you should use take because you're moving it away from the restaurant.
See, English becomes so much easier when you learn direction, not just direct translation.
Stop translating from your native language and start visualizing the actual physical movement instead.
That visual trick will instantly clear up any confusion you have with these verbs.
If you learn only one single action verb today, make sure it is get.
Oh, absolutely. Get is easily the most powerful and versatile verb in English.
It is everywhere. Native speakers use it hundreds of times in a single day.
But why is get so common? Because it has several different meanings based on context.
Let's break down the 5 most common meanings of this incredible English word.
First, get means to receive something, like receiving a nice birthday present.
For example, you can say, "I get many emails from my boss every morning."
Second, get means to become. This describes a change in your physical state.
You can say, "It is raining outside, so I am starting to get wet."
Third, get means to obtain or buy something from a local store.
For example, "I need to get some fresh milk from the grocery store today."
Fourth, get means to understand an idea, like saying, "I get it now."
And fifth, get means to arrive at a specific location or your home.
You can naturally say, "What time do you usually get home from work?"
Many learners struggle with get because they want one single dictionary definition for it.
But the solution is simple. Think about the situation, not the exact word definition.
Let's test your understanding with a quick mini-quiz section for our listeners.
I will say a sentence with a blank, and you choose the meaning.
Sentence number 1, "I always get so tired after working out at the gym."
In this situation, get means to become. Your physical state is changing completely.
Sentence number 2, "I hope I get a beautiful gift for my anniversary."
Here, get means to receive. You are receiving a physical item from someone.
Sentence number 3, "I usually get home from my office at 6 o'clock."
In this final sentence, get simply means to arrive at your house safely.
See how easy that is? Master the word get and your fluency will skyrocket.
We want to pause for a very quick moment to thank our community.
Many of our wonderful listeners constantly ask us for extra helpful study materials.
They ask for the full episode transcript, vocabulary guides, and special shadowing lessons.
We also create practical speaking worksheets for every single episode we release here.
If you want those extra materials, you can join our amazing Patreon community today.
The link is right below in the description of this audio podcast episode.
Right now, we're offering a massive 40% discount for your first month.
Just use the special discount code REAP20 when you sign up on Patreon.
That is REAP20. Only join if it truly helps your personal learning journey.
Now, let's jump right back into our lesson and learn more action verbs.
Let's talk about a verb that learners almost always forget to use.
Put. Learners often memorize hundreds of nouns like table, chair, phone, or bag.
But they completely forget the simple action verbs needed to move those objects around.
The verb put simply means to place something in a specific location carefully.
It's incredibly common, and you need it for so many daily activities.
For example, you can say, please put your phone down during dinner time.
Or you can say, I will put the heavy books on the table.
Another great daily example is, don't forget to put your shoes away nicely.
Let's do some interactive speaking practice together to build your confidence right now.
I will describe a daily situation and you choose the correct natural sentence.
Imagine you have a set of car keys in your right hand.
Do you say, I will open my keys inside my deep pocket?
Do you say, I will put my keys inside my deep pocket?
The correct answer is put because you are placing the keys there.
Let's try another one. You have a beautiful jacket and a clothing closet.
Do you say, I need to make my jacket into the dark closet?
Do you say, I need to put my jacket in the closet?
You don't need long, complex verbs to describe daily actions with household objects.
This simple structure will make your daily spoken English sound so much smoother.
Now we have arrived at the most famous English problem of all time.
Yes, the classic battle between the verbs make and do.
Why do learners struggle so much with these two specific action verbs?
Because many languages use only one single verb for both of these actions.
But English is special, and we separate them based on a cool rule.
We generally use make when we are creating or producing something completely new.
Think about physical creation, like when you make a delicious dinner for family.
Or when you bake and make a beautiful birthday cake for a friend.
You can also use it for abstract things, like when you make plans.
On the other hand, we use do for activities, jobs, or duties.
These are tasks that don't usually produce a brand new physical object at all.
For example, kids must always do their homework before going to bed.
Or you go to the gym because you want to do some exercise.
And nobody likes to do the dirty dishes after eating a massive meal.
Let's do a fun interactive quiz to challenge your brain right now.
I will say a noun and you quickly shout out make or do.
First noun, a mistake. Do you make a mistake or do a mistake?
The correct answer is make. You make a mistake when speaking English.
Second noun, laundry. Do you make the laundry or do the laundry?
The correct answer is do. You always do the laundry on weekends.
Here is a quick confidence moment for every single learner listening today.
Even highly advanced English learners sometimes confuse make and do when speaking.
So do not worry if you make a small mistake with them occasionally.
Just keep practicing every day, and the correct patterns will become totally automatic.
Let's discuss give, which I like to call the secret social verb.
Oh, that is a fantastic name for it. Why do you call it that?
Because we use it constantly when interacting with other people in society.
It is essential for communication at work, with family, school, and friends.
We use give to transfer both physical items and abstract concepts to others.
For example, you can give a colleague some really helpful business advice.
Or you can give your close friend a hand when they need help.
You can also give your valuable time to a project you love deeply.
And at work, you often give important information to your manager weekly.
Using the verb give makes daily social interactions sound incredibly polite and natural.
Let's look at a few real-life speaking situations to see how it works.
If you're struggling with a task, you can say, "Can you give help?"
Or if someone looks lost on the street, you can give them directions.
It's a wonderful, positive verb that connects people together during conversations.
Instead of finding complex words like provide or donate, just use give.
Yes, give me some advice sounds so much friendlier than provide me advice.
It keeps the conversation flowing smoothly without making it sound too formal.
So remember to use give whenever you're sharing something with someone.
It is time for our favorite segment, the Action Verb Challenge.
This is a rapid-fire practice game to test your real-time speaking speed.
We will present a fast daily situation and you must choose the verb.
You can choose from go, come, get, take, bring, put,
make, do, or give.
Are you ready? Let's turn up the energy and start the game.
Situation 1. You are entering a grocery store to buy some fresh apples.
You say, I need to blank some fresh apples from the store.
Fill in the blank. The answer is get. I need to get some fresh apples from the store.
Situation 2. You are placing your house keys safely on the kitchen counter.
You say, I will blank my house keys on the kitchen counter.
The answer is put. I will put my house keys on the kitchen counter.
Situation 3. You are writing a completely new schedule for your weekly tasks.
You say, I need to blank a new schedule for this week.
The answer is make. I need to make a new schedule for this week.
Situation 4. Your friend is walking away and they forgot their warm jacket.
You run to them and say, hey, blank your jacket with you.
The answer is take. Hey, take your jacket with you.
Wow, that was incredibly fast-paced, high energy, and super fun to play.
You did an amazing job participating in this rapid-fire action challenge today.
Remember our motivation for today. Real progress always comes from practice, not perfection.
Let's share the real secret to speaking English naturally with our listeners.
Many learners truly believe that mastering complex grammar rules equals perfect fluency.
But that is not always true, and it often holds learners back.
The real secret to English fluency is actually incredibly simple and achievable.
Fluency comes from consistent repetition, active speaking, active listening, and core verbs.
It's about using these common action verbs correctly in your daily life.
Native speakers use simple words repeatedly because they are efficient and clear.
Learning common verbs well creates much stronger conversations than memorizing rare words.
It allows you to express hundreds of different ideas using basic vocabulary.
So stop waiting for your English to become absolutely perfect before speaking.
Stop chasing perfection and stop worrying about making minor grammar mistakes today.
Start speaking today using the simple, powerful words you learned right here.
Every time you use these verbs, your brain builds stronger speaking connections.
You have all the tools you need to start speaking right now.
Let's do a very quick review of the verbs we covered today.
We mastered go, come, take, bring, get, put, make, do, and give.
Which of these everyday action verbs did you find the most difficult?
Let us know, and make a plan to practice that specific verb today.
Try to use it in a real conversation or write a sentence.
If today's episode helped you feel more confident, please take a second.
Please like, subscribe to our channel for more deep learning podcasts, and share this podcast with another excited English learner.
Your shares help our wonderful global learning community grow bigger and stronger.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time learning with us today.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, every small step brings you closer to fluency.
We believe in you completely, and we cannot wait for the next episode.
See you in episode 13. Bye, everyone. Keep shining bright.
Goodbye, everyone.